Ever since the world shifted to working from home, we've all felt these new, kind of invisible pressures, right? Well, what if a machine could actually understand that pressure? Today, we're going to break down a pretty groundbreaking study that used AI to predict mental distress in this new world of work. Let's get into how they did it and what it could mean for all of us. I mean, think about that for a second. It's a huge question. Forget the usual clinical surveys. Could an AI just look at the external factors of your life? Your job, your home setup, your social habits, and accurately flag if you might be struggling? Well, that's exactly what the researchers behind this study set out to discover. And this is what they found. Get this. They built a machine learning model that could predict who was experiencing mental distress with a staggering 97.1% accuracy. Wow. That number alone tells you we're looking at something that could be a total game changer. So, how on earth did they pull that off? Okay, so first, we have to understand the problem they were trying to solve. The big shift to remote work wasn't just about changing where you park your laptop. It brought this whole new set of challenges that can really mess with our mental well-being. And I'm sure a lot of this is going to sound familiar. The study pointed to things we've all probably felt. That dodgy internet connection on a huge call, the line between your office and your living room just completely vanishing, or even just that low-level hum of anxiety about job security making you work crazy hours. These aren't just little annoyances. They're chronic pressures that really build up over time. To really get the results, we have to be super clear on what the AI was actually looking for. Mental distress here wasn't just a vague feeling. Nope. It was a specific label for anyone showing moderate to severe symptoms of depression, anxiety, or stress, all based on standard diagnostic scales. The goal was pretty simple. Find the people who likely need support, even if they haven't asked for it yet. So, how do you go from messy, complicated life experiences to clean data for an algorithm? Well, it's all about finding the right clues. The researchers basically had to become detectives, figuring out how to translate the reality of a person's life into numbers that an AI could actually crunch. And they zeroed in on a really specific group, almost 500 IT professionals in Sri Lanka. These are people who live and breathe the digital, remote-first world, which made them the perfect group to study the unique pressures of working from home long-term. And their process was super methodical. They started by surveying all these workers, asking about, well, everything. They collected over 60 different data points for each person. Then, to cut through the noise, they used another algorithm to find the 25 clues that were the most important. Finally, they threw 6 different AI models into the ring to see which one was the best detective. I mean, just look at the breadth of data they collected. This is incredible. This wasn't just about whether you liked your job. They were looking at everything, from your relationship with your boss and your partner's income, all the way to how stable your power supply was at home. They were basically searching for hidden patterns across every single part of a person's life. All right, so after all that data was collected and cleaned up, it was time for the main event, the AI showdown. Which of those 6 models could most accurately sort people into either a distressed or not distressed group based only on those life factors? And here we have it, the results. Now, while all the models did surprisingly well, one really stood out from the pack. A model called CatBoost just edged out the competition, hitting that insane 97.1% accuracy rate. It was, without a doubt, the winner. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The researchers themselves put it right in the paper. CatBoost was simply the best tool for this incredibly complex job. This, right here, is the million-dollar question. It's fantastic that the model is so accurate, but why? What did it actually learn? Out of all those dozens of factors, which ones turned out to be the most powerful clues for predicting mental distress? And this is where it gets really interesting. When they dug into what made the model tick, it wasn't really about money or where you lived. The vast majority of the most important clues fell into just 2 buckets: occupational factors, so stuff to do with your job, and psychological factors, things related to your personal life and habits. So the model's predictions were heavily swayed by really specific personal things, like what's your relationship with your manager actually like? How hard is it to just take a day off? Are you having conflicts between your work life and your family life? And even things like social media addiction. It gives us this fascinating window into the real pressures of modern life. So this brings us to the big so what. An algorithm this accurate isn't just a cool science experiment. It could totally change how we think about and approach mental health in the workplace. Now, we have to be crystal clear about this, and the researchers really stress this point. This is not a diagnosis tool. An algorithm isn't a doctor. A better way to think about it is like a smoke detector for mental health. It's an automated, private, early warning system that can just flag when someone might need to reach out for some professional help. And the benefits here really go two ways, which is what makes it so powerful. For you, the employee, it could be a totally private way to just check in with yourself. And for an employer, it's a way to proactively see which teams might be struggling and offer support where it's needed most, which boosts the well-being of the whole company. Ultimately, that's the real breakthrough. We're moving from just reacting to a crisis to proactively predicting one. It's a model that could help people way before they ever hit a breaking point. And that leaves us with one last thought to chew on. We use technology to track our steps, our sleep, our diet, everything. Based on research like this, it feels totally possible that in the very near future, our first line of defense for mental health might not be a person at all, but a ridiculously accurate, predictive algorithm.